I still hate them, but I am not mad anymore. In January, I realized that she was involved in another relationship. She was also communicating with 2 other men through email, but she had not yet met with them. A few nights later, she broke down and expressed her dissatisfaction with her living situation with us, myself and my 2 children, and expressed her want to leave. Her AP provided her with the option to relocate. As a result, she abandoned me and the children. At this point, I despise him for his acts. He is also still married, and my STBXW lives with him, his wife, and their 2 children in the same house as them. It tore my heart out and caused severe suffering for a long period of time after that. But now I'm just plain disappointed in myself. He has promised to divorce her and marry my STBXW as soon as possible. Because of false claims made to her about me being violent, which preys on a past trauma his wife had. His wife seems to be completely unaware of this and is allowing my STBXW to stay in place. There have been a slew of different explanations on why the affair transpired. From my prescriptions to the fact that I do not find her attractive, everything leads her to assume that I do not find her attractive. If I had really cared, I would have sought for proof and refused to give her the alone time she said she needed. But I did not, and now I'm simply not bothered. Each and every day she demonstrates to me and the kids that she cannot be trusted, and that her only concern is for herself and her own interests. She still wants to talk to me at night after her AP has gone to bed, but is unable to do so because of his wife's restrictions, and she continues to make advances toward me. However, I have nothing but scorn for her at this point. She wants to tell me about her day, and I realize that I don't care and that it's dull to hear about her day. I don't respect her point of view on any of the issues she raises. Children's music is the only kind of music that I actually like listening to these days. She is also avoiding all of her friends and refuses to share any information with them, which has resulted in them contacting me. Almost every change I make to my home annoys her, which is a lot. The fact that she no longer lives in the house is something I have to inform her, and when I remind her of this fact, she claims she felt compelled to leave and doesn't understand why we couldn't just go on as if nothing had occurred because everything had been fine for months. I'm not sure where it's going to take me. I loathe them, but I'm too exhausted to be enraged or care about much of what she's saying at the moment. I'm completely at a loss on what to do next. Edit. Thank you to everyone for their ideas and words of wisdom. I'm striving to accomplish many of the things that have been suggested, and there are some portions that I'm unable to address. I've been consulting with lawyers, but I'm only able to go so far at this point. I'm taking massive amounts of notes. Children are getting care and I am receiving assistance, and will begin counseling shortly, as many of you have suggested. Story 2. My 24 male girlfriend, 21 female, is convinced I'm cheating on her even though I didn't and we kinda broke up. My boyfriend and I have been dating for little under 1 month. This is my first experience in a committed relationship. She's the first girl I've ever kissed, and despite the fact that we've only been together for a short period of time, we've grown to be really close. She means the world to me, and I'm thankful to have found her in the first place. Because we're currently in different areas owing to school and employment, we video chat. Yesterday, when we were video chatting, she asked me to share my screen with her so she could see what I've been working on. I obliged. As soon as I begin screen sharing, a notification shows on the screen with a message from a buddy in it, a female friend. I worry and hang up the phone as soon as I hear the news. My mistake. And I was concerned since it would be embarrassing if I were to engage in conversation with a female companion. Although we were talking about romance, the topic of conversation was completely unrelated to it. I'll be relocating to another city for work in the near future, and she's a friend who works in the region, so I asked her for recommendations on safer neighborhoods to live in. Following that chat, I told her about an interaction I had with homeless people in San Francisco and inquired about the results of her laboratory testing. Upon being asked about her plans, she said that she was going to see her parents and that the food in the city where her parents live is excellent. In addition, I inquired about the cuisine in that city. Then she said, "Oh, there's excellent Mexican food, blah, blah." In all honesty, I was simply attempting to start a conversation because I didn't want to come out as unapproachable. I had never regarded her as a potential partner, and I acknowledged that it was my fault for delving into the matter for any longer than was absolutely essential. Despite the fact that I gave my partner screenshots of the discussion, she remained dubious. The term was used to refer to me, with the implication that I'm precisely like the other men she's met so far and that I'm playing a joke on her. It broke my heart because I would never treat her in that manner, and he is the first guy I've ever dated in my whole life. I'd even recommended that she call a female friend of mine to confirm that we weren't dating and that I wasn't cheating on her with another woman. After I declined, she became upset, telling me that we should end our relationship and that I should never communicate with her again. She even used a racial insult towards me, which infuriated me to the point that I declared that I was better off without her in my life. She answered my call around 5 minutes later to express her regret for the offense. The next day, I called her and informed her that I was going to block her on social media in order to get over her. She was understandably upset. She inquired as to whether I would be willing to send a text message to a female friend to alert her that I had a female companion. In response to my telling her that I did not want to be with her because of the slur she used, she hung up on me. The incident occurred the day before yesterday, and now I feel like a piece of garbage. I miss her so much that not a single second goes by without me thinking about her. Her presence in my life gave me hope for the future, and she was the best thing that had ever happened to me. I realized that she felt angry and said things she shouldn't have, but she did express regret and accept my apology. Despite my best efforts, she is still convinced that I cheated on her, and I am at a loss for what to do next. The notion that she believes I'm cheating on her breaks my heart, and it makes me unhappy to think that she believes I'm cheating when I am not. I really want her back, but I'm at a loss on what to do at this point. I really adore her and adore her company. I'd even messaged a friend and informed her that I had a girlfriend, and when she inquired about seeing her, I informed her that it would be difficult. Story 3. A 24 female found out that my fiancé, 35 male, slept with his ex-girlfriend early in our relationship and was still in love with her until we got engaged. Our relationship began via my ex-best friend, let's call her M, who also happened to be my fiancé's ex-girlfriend. I cut up our communication a few months ago because I was fed up with her negativity and suspected she was having an affair with her husband. To cut a long story short, I just found that my fiancé and M had a secret wild night a few months into our relationship, thanks to explicit detailed messaging between them. I was under the impression that our relationship was going swimmingly at the moment. Several dates, a lot of sweet talk, and a number of nights spent together are in order. Then, after being confronted with the evidence, my boyfriend said that his feelings for her had diminished soon after a major romantic vacation we took to Hawaii a month before we got engaged. We'd been talking about getting married for months before it finally happened. It is in my best interest to forgive him and focus on our relationship. Yet I am quite unhappy, and I question how meaningful the majority of our relationship has been. I cry almost every day because it's tough to come home to him, and despite the fact that he seems to be honest, he continues to behave in the same manner as he always has, frustrated that I'm still in such misery, and he is powerless to change it. He professes to be willing to go to any extent to better our relationship, yet he is apathetic and uninterested in taking the initiative. He just wants me to be specific in describing what I need. It's like a road plan for how to recover from infidelity. But I'm exhausted, and I'm not in the mood to micromanage at this point in time. I want him to do his own research, consult with his close friends, and give serious consideration to how he may be able to assist me. Is this too much to expect of a person? What are your opinions on the matter? What were your expectations about your partner's behavior? Update: I'm in the process of packing my possessions. Thank you very much for your thoughts and for participating in an open dialogue. The other day, my fiancé and I had another conversation in which he pointed out his severe lack of empathy and inability to experience loss. I'm snipping the cord right now